Om Guruve Namaha. Jai Ho and welcome to Virat Talks episode 13, day 1. Today we have with us Gaurvi Singhvi, and I'm really delighted to have such new, fresh, and young talent with us. It's been 13 episodes, it's been a milestone for Virat Youth Charammangal, and we're getting so many new people, so many young people, and we are delighted to have you with us today, Gaurvi. To introduce Gaurvi for today's enthusiastic session, we have Kavya Shah from Hyderabad. She is an artistic skater and an international ice skater. So here you go to Kavya, a formal speaker as well.
Therefore, challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what make life meaningful. This quote is truly observed in Gaurvi Singhvi, an open water long distance swimmer. She holds a record of being the youngest to swim the English Channel, the Mt Everest or Mount Everest. For swimmers, at the national swimming competition, she has won various medals at several district and state respectively. Furthermore, she is the fastest girl to cover the open sea distance, about 37 and 17 kilometer in the Indian Ocean, in just 6 hours and 35 minutes and 3 hours and 58 minutes respectively. I was amazed by seeing her, a social worker who is now a district youth icon for the government's Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, with an initiative to motivate and educate the girl child. So now I would like to pass on to Gaurvi Singhvi to emphasize about her journey throughout now, and I would like to ask her to explain her journey simply and with enthusiasm. Thank you, and I pass on to Gaurvi.
Hi, thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm really honored. And as you guys know, in 2019, I swam across the English Channel from Sampaio in England to the Cap Brune in France in about 13 hours and 28 minutes and became the youngest in the world in 2019 to cross the English Channel. So, from a grade 3 student competing in swimming pools to the youngest English Channel swimmer in 2019, it's been kind of a long journey, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. So, I basically hail from the beautiful city of Udaipur, and I just passed out from grade 12th from JPIS, Jaipur. And like any other child, I was put into swimming by my parents to learn a life skill, and before I knew it, I was participating in district competitions and then representing my state at the national level. So when I first competed in the under 14 district championship, I was just, I think, 9 years old, and everybody around me was practically double my height. I don't think anybody really expected me to win that race, but when I did get my first silver medal, it made me so happy and motivated that I never wanted to get out of the pool again. And that was basically the beginning of my swimming journey. Um, so I started spending more and more time at the pool. Then I was at home or in school. My swimming teammates had become my family. I mean, I kind of hated most of the swimming training when I was actually doing it. I hated the 5 o'clock morning runs, sprinting until I had side pains that wouldn't let me breathe. I hated eating the healthy food, the proteins. I missed seeing my friends for weeks. And it was so awkward when everyone asked me why I was so tanned, or how I kept my long hair, because I had like really long hair that time. But at the same time, I really love to swim, like the tournaments and the feeling you get when the lineup is announced and you get lane number 4, because lane 4 is supposed to be the fastest. And I waited to see my teammates go buck wild in the stands cheering for me. And you know the satisfaction you get when you're standing on the podium and taking a medal. So I guess when you know what you want and you want it bad enough, you just find a way to get it. And that's what I do, and I hope to continue in the future. um, So for my long distance swimming journey, I was probably 13 when I enrolled myself in an adult 1 kilometer race at the Udaipur Lake Festival. And trust me, when I was younger, I was like a really finicky kid. I liked everything to be spick and span, really clean around myself. And I'd tell my mom to stand with my slippers near the lake until I got out of the water, so I didn't have to set foot on the dirty steps. And when I used to go home, I used to take a bath like 3 times with Dettol water just because I didn't like the dirty water of the lake. And I mean, it wasn't easy for a while, but it eventually didn't matter because I started enjoying the open waters way more than the confined pool swimming. So my first swim in Mumbai was a 16-kilometer swim from the Governor House to the Gateway of India. And then I also did like a 37-kilometer swim. And after finishing that 37-kilometer swim in the Indian Ocean as the fastest Indian, I was so elated that I knew it was the beginning of a long journey because I'd fallen in love with the open water, the waves, it went up and down like a roller coaster, the adventure. It was like an adrenaline rush. And my dream of swimming the English Channel was taking its shape then. So, about 10 months after that, in 2018, sometime in February, I was supposed to swim a 47-kilometer stretch from Worli in Mumbai to the Gateway of India again. And this time I was supposed to start at 12 in the night. So I moved forward with high spirits, and it was supposed to be like a stepping stone to prepare me for the English Channel swim. But this swim was nowhere as easy as any of the swims I'd done before, because a few minutes into the swim, I realized that because I was starting at 9 and I had a light behind me, it really attracted the prawns, the fish, and the jellyfish and all other kind of sea animals, which really stung my feet and they swelled up because of that. And a few miles later, I realized that I got stuck between the fish nets. My arms started aching, and that swim really taught me that more than the physical endurance, you have to train yourself mentally to sustain such kind of things, because there was a patch of really dirty water. I had to swim through a patch of uh, oil spill where I couldn't breathe properly, and those kind of things really demotivate you in a way. So you have to be mentally strong to swim through all of that. So for a time, I kind of felt lost because for the first time after an accomplishment, I wasn't really happy. And this 47-kilometer swim, I had conquered it, but the spark was lost and I wanted to go through that kind of a pain again. But the next summer after that, I couldn't stay out of the water because, as you know, Rajasthan has really strong summers, and I just couldn't keep myself out of the pool. No matter what I did, swimming was always on my mind. I returned to competitive pool swimming again for a while. Reluctantly, I also enrolled myself for an open 10-kilometer swim by the SFI. And when I finished that open water 10K competition with a bronze, I think that zinc was back, and I missed the sea so much that I started long distance swimming again. So I started training for long hours along with swimming. I added some more ground practice. I started doing yoga. I swam throughout the winters in cold water pools to acclimatize myself for the English Channel swim, because the channel is extremely cold and it usually has a maximum temperature of about 16 to 18 degrees Celsius, where the pool is around 27. And I had to gain like 10 kgs of weight to increase the brown fat in my body that would help me against the hypothermia. And gaining weight sounds like an easy task right now, but trust me, because I was working out so much and I was so active, it was a really challenging task. And so I this was how I started training for my channel. And then eventually I also trained in London for a few weeks before my actual English Channel swim. And I can never forget those freezing waters and how I was so scared after the first time I jumped into the Dover port because it was so cold that my fingers and toes were probably blue for 2 hours after I had my first swim over there. And it was my first encounter with the actual waters of the English Channel, but it was a real eye opener for me. And my actual swim was on 23rd of August in 2019. Uh, I think that was the day that really counted. I mean, when everyone asks me about my channel swim, they only ask me about that one particular day. But according to my watch, I was training since about 2.5 years, and I had swam more than 4,000 miles. So I knew in my own head that whatever happened on that day was just a small part of the journey because I'd already come a long way since where I started. So I think I dived at around 2:30 in the night at the sound of the horn, and that uh, and I mean, unlike the waters that I had swam in back home in the Arabian Sea, the channel was really cold, but it had very clean water, and I could literally see the jellyfish and other fish swimming beneath me. And each time large ferries passed by, because English Channel is also supposed to be the busiest shipping lane, is one of the busiest shipping lanes of the world. So I would hold my breath and prepare myself, because a large wave of water meant that all the cold water from beneath was churned up, and it would literally give me chills down my spine. So I saw a really beautiful sunrise that morning, and a few hours after that, I could see the French coast. I think it was probably 5 or 6 hours, but every hour I could feel that the French coast was um, coming nearer, but it was sort of also like a mirage, because it did come. It felt like it came closer, but it really wasn't. And I was stuck in the waves for probably 3 or 4 hours, and at some point I felt like the current wasn't pushing me towards the shore but against the shore, so I had to sprint and swim even faster to actually move forward and swim against the currents and the tide. So people often have the misconception about open water swimming that it's the physical exhaustion that's actually the tough part, because you have to swim opposite to the tides and all of that. But I think what was more difficult for me was the isolation, because for so many hours I didn't have anyone to talk to. The only time I could actually see my family on the boat was when I looked up to take a breath. So those 13 hours I thought about anything and everything, and after a point I didn't even know what to think about. So that was probably the toughest point for me. And I finished at the Cap Brune on the French coast at about 4:30 in the afternoon, and it was one of the most emotional moments of my life, because I felt relieved and I felt pride because I was holding the flag of India on that coast. But I also realized that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my core strength, my parents, my coaches, my friends, and my family. So every one of them had helped me to make my dream a reality. And if it wasn't for them, I think I'd be telling like a really different story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gaurvi. Thank you so much, Gaurvi. It was really amazing to hear your journey. What we hear for the first time is like English channel, and it's like English channel is we are happy to hear, but to hear the journey, how you got through that, how you build your mental resilience, how you build your mental strength to do that. Physical strength and mental strength both are important, and it's really, really amazing to have you here and listen to your journey. Now, to move on with the fun session, I'll pass on to Manya Chajir from Bali.
Hi.
Hi. It was really nice to hear you, your ups and downs. Like, we only heard about the only flashed up part, like you grow and go through English channel, but you told us like what you really go through.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, for the questions, first I would ask, Please share the feeling when you first took your wings into English Channel.
So the first time I jumped into the channel was probably a few weeks before my channel swim, and I think I mentioned at some point when I was speaking earlier, but I had no idea how cold it would be. And the first time I jumped, even though it was so cold, I could feel my body on fire because my body could not take that kind of cold. And I was swimming for probably 45 minutes to 1 hour. But by the time I came out, my hands and legs were literally blue in color, and they were numb for another 45 minutes because it was really, really cold. So that was my first encounter with the channel waters.
Okay, it was really good. Next, at such a teen, you started swimming and going through English Channel. So, apart from this, what idea led you to be a social worker?
I think growing up in a small city like Udaipur really made me aware of how people struggle in their everyday lives. And I thought that I might have been lucky enough to be supported by my family and friends around me. But a lot of people were not. And there were more people unfortunate than me who didn't have the same kind of resources that I did. And I thought that if I had the ability and I was in a position to help others, I really wanted to make that change. So I think that motivated me to go out and help others.
Okay. So, next is, does living in Udaipur lets you explore more in like swimming or your further entertainment? Like,
I think living in Udaipur, like there are two sides to every coin. Living in Udaipur has also been like a very wholesome experience for me, but and one side because I grew up in Udaipur surrounded by so many lakes. It's called the city of lakes, by the way. So I always grew up swimming in those lakes, and that is how I discovered my passion for open water swimming. But at the same time, I also feel that if I had grown in a more metropolitan city, a bigger city, I would have the kind of resources that other children or other swimmers my age get. Like, for example, an all-weather pool. Udaipur, or as a matter of fact, Rajasthan also did not have one when I was training. So, as a competitive swimmer, that really put me at a disadvantage because I was only swimming for 8 to 10 months a year when I was training, as compared to swimmers from the southern parts of India who were training throughout the year. People in bigger cities like Bombay or Delhi or even abroad have more trained coaches, they have better nutritionists, physiotherapists, and those kind of facilities really matter when you're a competitive sports person. So I think those aspects really made me feel like I would have been more advanced at more of an advantage if I was growing up in a big city. But I love Udaipur, I love its history, I love its traditions, I love its people. So I'm also biased towards it.
okay, so it's like both.
Yes.
Okay. So, does your challenges motivates you or lets you down?
No, I think I'm totally a challenge driven person. For every tiny thing that I do, I like to set myself goals, even if it's goals at the end of a day, at the end of a week or a year. It really motivates me and helps, like accomplishing one goal really motivates me to do better with another one. So that is definitely a motivational factor for me.
Okay. Uh, who was your supporter or who guided you to go and take challenge internationally?
I think I had a really great support system, and my mother has always been like my source of inspiration. But even my family, my coaches helped me to find my true calling, or to help me explore my love for the open waters and go abroad and swim. So it's, I think, a combination of a lot of people around me. Even my swim mates who swam with me on the team really helped me to train and prepare myself.
Okay. You told that you love Rajasthani culture and heritage. So, what do you love the most in our Rajasthan?
The traditions, definitely. I love its festivals. Festivals like Gangor. Udaipur is a really beautiful city with a really beautiful city palace, which is one of my favorite places in the world. So its architecture is one thing that I definitely love. I think it's so rich with history. If you've heard about Maharana Pratap or Maharana Uday Singh, that one of the strongest freedom fighters that India has seen. So I'm really close to the history of Rajputana and Mewar as well.
Okay. So, since you have gone through in many lakes, many seas, and swim a lot, so share your best memory in the sea.
In the sea, uh, I think one of my best memories would be at the end of the English Channel swim when I was going to complete the swim, but the tides were actually so strong at the end that it wasn't safe for me to swim alone near the shore because it's so rocky and sometimes very dangerous. So some of my crew members actually had planned it earlier and jumped down with me. So I had three of the strongest swimmers that I know who were also a part of my crew when I was swimming the channel. It was Kevin, Nick, and Deidra, who were all swimmers from England, and they jumped in the water and swam with me at the end. And I think that's one of the most memorable moments of my life. And apart from that, I also saw a few sea lions when I was swimming across the English Channel, which is also a highlight for me because I found it really fascinating.
Okay. So, does your school support in your training?
Yes, I think it has been really supportive so far because a lot of times, because I started training at 5 in the morning, and then I had a series of things that I used to do. I used to go for a run, then go to the gym, do some yoga, and then jump in the pool. So I had a really long routine in the morning before I actually reached the school. So my school was so supportive that they were fine with me missing my first class every single day and joining the school at like 9 p.m. when the school actually started at 7:30. They would give me days off. Even when I was competing in seventh, eighth, ninth grade, they would take my half yearly examinations much after they had actually occurred in school because I was always at some or the other state competition at that time of the year. So I think they were quite supportive like that.
Okay. So, how sea swimming built your mental resilience?
So, like I said, swimming across the channel really made me realize that endurance sports or any adventure sports for that matter is more about the mental strength of a person than the physical strength because after a point you cannot push yourself physically unless you are mentally strong. So for example, so many times during my training as well, I would probably be swimming for 8, 9, or probably even 10 hours, and I'd be so tired. My legs and hands would be aching, my back would give up, and I'd be puking sometimes and things like that. And I just couldn't find it in me to keep going. And also the fact that I somewhere in my head I felt like it was just a practice swim, it really didn't count. But that time, because I was mentally strong and also I had the support of my family and my coaches who kept saying that you can do it, you keep going, there's just one more lap or 2 more kilometers that you have to get through. And all of those things made me feel more supported and mentally stronger. So that is how I kept going, because if it was just for my physical strength, I don't think I would have been able to train every single day for so many years. And I think that is where the mental strength really counts.
Okay. So, how does your sport help you shape your personality?
In a lot of ways. So like I said, I've become so much more mentally strong. I don't give up easily, even if it's a challenge at school. If I'm late or if I'm preparing for a test and I'm really not in the mood, I wouldn't give up because I've become so mentally strong. Even because I've been swimming competitively for so long, and I think it has helped me with my concentration. So I even when I was in school, I got really little time to be on the desk and studying because I spent so much time at the pool or in school. So when I was actually at the desk, I had to be more focused and had to put in more concentration to catch up with everyone else who had more time to focus on academics. So I think that, and also I feel somehow it has made me a more confident individual, because being a captain of a sports team really or really put me in situations that challenged me as a person, as a leader, and it helps me in my everyday life when I have to stand up for myself or speak out an opinion and be confident. So that is another thing. And I mean, if I'm counting things like that, I can probably connect everything to swimming, because most of my life I've only been a swimmer. So whether it's punctuality or it's confidence or it's gratitude, I think all of it stems somewhere or the other from swimming or being a sports person.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gaurvi. It was really wonderful hearing you, all your adventurous journey.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
having me.
Now we'll have such games, some games. So I'm all on Tanwangidi.
Thank you so much, Manya. And thank you so much, Gaurav. It was really, really amazing to hear you. And it was really, really inspiring as well. But now we'll move on to some fun games. So the first game is Would You Rather? I think you know the drill of it. I'm going to ask you two options. You can answer one of them, which you prefer. So the first question
Yeah.
goes, Would you rather go in the past to meet your ancestors, or go in the future to meet your great great grandchildren?
I think go in the future. I'd rather see what's coming.
Nice. The next question is, would you rather have more time or more money?
More time.
Okay. The next is, would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Oh, that's tricky. Uh, Probably a rewind, because um, I mean, it depends on the situation, but probably a rewind button.
Yeah, we do like to relive our experience that we actually
Yeah.
loved.
The
So the
unfortunate
next question,
instances that we are living in the present, I think I'd rather go back and live it all again.
yeah. So the next question is, would you listen to the music from 70s like our parents, type old school music, or the music that we have today?
I think the music that we have today.
Okay, the next question is, would you rather read an awesome book or watch a good movie? So the debate is between a book and movie that goes on and on forever. So what do you
I'm more of a movie kind of person, so definitely a movie for me.
do? Definitely. So the next question is, would you rather be the most popular person at work or school, or be the smartest person at the place?
The smartest, surely.
The next question is, would you rather be able to take back everything you say, or hear every conversation around you?
Hear every conversation around you.
It's nice to hear everything that goes around.
Knowledge is power.
So the next question is, would you rather be poor and work at a job you love, or be rich and work at a job you hate?
Poor and work at a job I love.
It's all about following the passion, I think.
I think it is, yes.
The next question is, would you rather be in pajamas or suit all day?
Pajamas.
We all love comfort.
Yes.
And the last question of the quiz is, would you rather be your own boss or work for someone else?
I don't know. That's kind of tricky, but um, I'm. I think I'd be okay either ways.
Thank you, Gaurvi, for being such a sport with the game. Now I'm going to move forward with the questions. So the question I wanted to ask you, we explored a part of your sea journey, but we have read that you are a brand ambassador of Beti Bachao and Padhao Andolan from the government. So tell us more about it, the journey, the experience, and what you feel about it.
I think it was a really eye-opening experience for me, and I was a part of a lot of functions, campaigns. We had a lot of events back in Udaipur, my hometown. We visited schools, and I think what was different for me was I had the opportunity to see life uh, from a different perspective than what was mine, because living or growing up in a house like mine, I had the exposure and the opportunity that was very I think practical. And also, my parents were very supportive of me wanting to go out and study, to travel, to see the world. And sometimes the priorities are not the same for people growing up in a small city or a small village. So I had the chance to speak to girls and see their perspective on life, what is important to them, and how they look at different situations, which was very eye opening for me. But that was the learning part for me. But to have the opportunity to help others was also a very big thing. We held many different drives. We distributed books, clothes throughout villages. Sometimes we also held award functions for girls who had done really well in their 10th grade or 12th grade examinations. We really wanted to reward them and motivated them to keep going, to keep studying, and to be independent, to stand on their own feet and um, work for a living. We did a couple of different things like those, and I think it was a great experience for me overall.
Thank you so much, Bobby. We really feel connected by the efforts you're doing. So I got a really small question from it, that this is a initiative that by government you are doing. At your part, if you were not a part of, just for example, if you're not a part of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Andolon, but if you were like a normal person, like all of us, at your level, what efforts would you do as a person to help the girl child or just girls in our country?
So I think it's different for people living in different areas, and at what So, for example, when I was not an ambassador for this program, I also did a lot of social work through school, and I had several crowdfunding campaigns. So basically, crowdfunding works as you collect money from your friends and family, you put it together, and then you donate it towards an NGO who's working for the upliftment. So you can do something like that. You can probably open clubs or organizations in schools or companies that you work for to raise awareness about issues that concern females throughout the country. You can also go, if you have the time, you can go to self-help groups, or you can go to schools near your home or your school, and you can take out some part of your time to help teach girls who are there. You can I think you can also, a lot of times there are special orphanages that have girls, so you can go to them, you can talk to them about the opportunities that they can explore. And sometimes a lot of girls also they study, but then after that they don't know what they can do with the education they have received. So you can give them career counseling, you can open doors for them so they can have the opportunities to work. And I think those are the kind of initiatives that you can take at a personal level to help girls everywhere.
Definitely, you've given us great suggestions right now. I think we'll all work at personal levels to do things for that. And the thing you told about career counseling, after a while, we definitely, as a youth, as a person, I was directional as well. So it is great to have someone to counsel you for your career. Thank you so much for that. And I have one more question exploring the social service side of yours. Uh, we read that you're the district youth icon in the sweep program appointed by the Election Commission of India. So could you please tell us more about it so that we can explore that side of your life as well?
Thank you so much. And for this, I actually worked mostly before the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. So even for this, we went to villages and town centers and schools, and we spoke to the people, and we spoke to them about why they didn't want to vote, if they weren't voting, if they were voting, what were the issues concerning them. We tried to educate them on what every leader is doing or how they should make a decision, or what parameters they should consider while um, choosing their candidate. So it was more about raising awareness and education, and it was through a lot of different things. Like we had a cyclothon in Udaipur around the Fateh Sagar Lake. We made a human chain. There were events, there were rallies, there was like a Lok Sabha, there was a Nukkad Natak, and very different kind of thing that would engage not only the elderly but also the youth. And we went to different colleges, and we helped them open up their own clubs which would work towards increasing the voter turnout in their colleges. So it was a lot of different things like those. And yeah, I think it was a really great experience for me also. Sometimes it was difficult because I was probably 15 or 16 that time, and a lot of people didn't want to listen, or they didn't want to hear a 15-year-old motivating them to vote, because they thought I was really small, and what was I doing asking them to go out and vote. And some people didn't even have the means to go because someone was working, someone had to take care of their children at home. Some women didn't want to go out of their houses to a voting booth and go and vote. So there were always challenges like those. But I think to overcome those and to convince people how each vote matters, and how every person who goes and votes is a major contributor to a democracy, is what is important.
Thank you so much, Gauri, for doing this, because at such a young age, you're motivating people to vote, and it's like a really, really great responsibility and great motivating work that you're doing. Now that we have explored your social service side, I would like to start with another one of our game, that is rapid fire. So, are you ready for it?
Yes, I am.
We expect the questions to be really, really fast. So, let's start. The first question is, what is the one thing that you put on your bucket list?
To travel.
Okay. The next question is, who is your favorite superhero and why?
I think my favorite superhero like that would be Black Panther. But if we talk in real life, then it would be my mom, because she's my strength and there's no one I look up to more than her. So she's my real superhero.
Definitely. The next question is, one word to describe the sea.
To describe the sea, adventure.
Amazing. The next question is, who is your favorite cartoon character and why?
Favorite cartoon character? Wow. Uh, I don't know if it's the most appropriate one, but Shinjan. I think it's really funny, and if I have a chance, I always grab. I mean, if I have time, then I always love to watch it.
Definitely. The next question is, which sea animal is your favorite? You have explored sea so much.
I think they're all really intriguing, but dolphins are probably my favorite. They're beautiful, and even sharks. I find them really intriguing.
Okay. Next question is, are you a morning person or a night person?
A night person. I used to hate those 5 a.m. runs.
We all do hate waking up in the morning. The next question is, what is your favorite hobby apart from swimming, social service, something different that we don't know?
I think photography. I love capturing moments and just edit. I think photography is something that really makes me happy.
The next question is, what is the one favorite thing about someone in your family? Anyone?
Oh, favorite thing? Uh, I think it's a trait that I would really like to possess and keep with me.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Um, okay. So probably Um, okay, I'm adventurous, kind, and strong. I don't know if it's not too humble, but I'd like to think of myself like that.
Okay. The next question is, what is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
I take my medicine. Uh, I think, yeah, I like to have a cup of coffee usually, but yeah.
What is the one thing that you're most afraid of?
Being ordinary.
The next question is, what is your lifelong dream?
To travel, to see the world.
Okay, and one question that I would like to ask you, that's like my personal favorite. If your life would be written as a book, what would be the name of that book?
Oh God, this is big. uh, I don't know. Across the ocean or something like that. Conquer the oceans. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay. Can I suggest one?
Yes, please.
Mermaid of the Sea.
Oh. Thank you so much.
Welcome. I would like to welcome Gaurvi's mother, proud mother, Mrs. Shubh Singhvi with us. She's connected with us right now. Jai Ho, ma'am, it is so nice to see you here. And strength that you have given, Gauri. We have heard so much about you from her. So we would like to hear some words from you.
I think Gaurvi is always very generous with her words, and I wouldn't want to take a little bit of credit also from this because she's done what she has always wanted to do, and she was always determined and hardworking towards it. So I think it'll not be right for me to take away that from her. I think she is what she is because of who she is.
How would you describe your daughter?
I think she's very, very passionate about the things she chooses to do and really puts her life and soul into that to win it, to come out as a leader.
Definitely. Thank you so much, ma'am, for connecting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'm going to ask some more questions to Gauri.
Yes.
Okay, Gauri, there's one thing that I wanted to ask you. That normally when we feel low, like there's someone in the family that we go to, like I go to my cousins or anyone. So who do you go to, and like what? How do you like cope up with all those things that you face, the challenges and the problems in daily life?
I think my answers so far have made it really clear, but it's usually my mom I run to wherever I'm down or I'm not feeling very good. But also sometimes my brother, because he makes a joke out of everything and we laugh out whatever it is that is bothering me. So I think both of them are really close to me. And sometimes it really helps to talk through everything, and other times it just helps to joke about it and forget about things that are bothering me. So it works both ways.
Okay. And now, like, I would like to, like, as a part of the whole group, I would like to ask you one question. What are your future plans in swimming as well as in your personal life?
So I'm actually going to California to Stanford University this semester to start my college journey, and that is something I'm really looking forward to. And as for swimming, being in America, I want to cover a few swims around California and the rest of the United States that I've been hoping to do for quite some time now. So I think there's a Catalina channel that I'd love to swim across. There's a Manhattan swim that I'd love to do. So swims around that part of the world would be next in my list.
it seems like you have connected your passion and profession, and both of them are going in the same direction. It's really, really amazing how you have planned this. We have our former speaker, Mr. Group Captain Ashok Choradia, sir. So I would like to invite him and like give us a few words of wisdom.
I am sorry, first of all, for joining late. I was stuck somewhere in the traffic, and I think that the members in this group are smart enough. There is hardly any wisdom that I can share, but going through whatever I have heard in the last few minutes, I would say that you must follow the dreams that you have, like the young lady is doing. And that's the only way you can succeed in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for connecting and your words of wisdom. It's always inspiring to have you with us, uh, you with us here. And now back to Gaurvi. I have some more questions for you.
Yeah.
So I would like, there's one question I would like to ask you. What would be your career advice to the youth in terms of in general life, and as well as if someone wants to start a career in swimming or is interested in swimming, so what would be your career advice to them?
I think what I would tell everyone over here is that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, you can achieve everything you set your mind to. And I always say that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the reason I say that is because I didn't grow up with things being handed to me, and I had to work hard, I had to dedicate myself and be determined. And even outside of sports, it could be business, it could be education, it could be anything really. It requires hard work and determination, but most importantly, it requires self belief. I know that it is a well worn cliche, but I've come to realize how true it is. And you have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to have that belief and faith in yourself to achieve everything that you want to.
Definitely. One more question that I would like to ask you, that is that you are a Jain. So, what part of your religion inspires you or motivates you, or one teaching out of the religion that you really, really embrace in your life?
I think Jainism really teaches everyone to be determined, to be mentally strong, and that is something that has really helped me throughout my journey. So I think that is one thing that I would say.
And like this would be probably the last question. Like, what has been your experience with us, Virat, Charammangal, and some words for us?
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really honored to be a part of this show. And thank you so much for being an organization that motivates people, that helps them. And I think it's a great platform for anyone and everyone who wants to do something. And it has been a true honor for me to be here and talk with everyone.
So there's an audience question right now, Gaurvi. Do you believe in God or luck?
I think I'd say that I believe in myself, and everyone should believe in their own efforts and their own hard work above everything.
Okay. We have Sadhika Dr. Pragba Viratji connected with us. So I would like to invite her for a few words of wisdom.
जय हो जय हो गौरवी आज आपको सुना एंड इट वाज लाइक इतनी सी उम्र में आपने जिस तरह से अपनी लाइफ को देखा है जिया है इट इज जस्ट अमेजिंग एंड I know there are some issues and I can't switch on my video, but yes, I can see you continuously. And the way you answered each and every question. It was like आप इतने easy हो, चाहे जैसे challenges आए life में, आप अपने challenges को accept कर रहे हो, आप moment को जी रहे हो, उसको respond कर रहे हो, और इतनी सी उम्र में जब आप खुद अभी तक शायद वोट देने की उम्र में पहुंचे नहीं हो, एंड स्टिल यू आर मोटिवेटिंग पीपल टू डू समथिंग व्हिच यू कांट डू एट दैट पर्टिकुलर एज, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी कमेंडेबल. क्योंकि जिम्मेदारी का एहसास होना बहुत जरूरी है, और वो एहसास आपके अंदर है, और उसके लिए आप लोगों को मोटिवेट कर रहे हो. सो इट इज लाइक बैलेंसिंग ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. आप अपना पैशन भी बैलेंस कर रहे हो अपनी एकेडमिक्स के साथ. Above all, whatever you are getting from the society, direct or indirect, you are multiplying and giving it back. So it's just like we are very proud to have you with us, and being a part of Virat Youth Charammangal. This really is what a youth is, Virat in true sense. So we all wish you many more challenges to come. Why? Because you have that strength to overcome it. इसीलिए मैं कह रही हूँ challenges आते रहे आपकी जिंदगी में, ताकि आप उनको चुटकियों में पार करते चले जाओ. रोजाना एक नए कामयाबी को छुओ, यही दुआ आपके लिए. इसी तरह सागर की लहरों पर, सागर की मौजों पर मस्त रहते हुए आगे बढ़ते रहो. And Virat Youth Charammangal is a family, and on that part, I invite you to be a part of this family. And yes, it's a, I would rather say, a platform not only to motivate people, it is like exploring yourself in various dimensions. So be a part of the family, stay connected. Over to Tanvangi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manasa, for connecting with us. And thank you so much, Gaurvi. It was really, really an amazing session. It was motivating, inspiring, and we get to explore so many sides of your personality. It was really amazing to know you as a complete person. Thank you so much for connecting. And I would like to thank the entire team of Viratu Charamangal, our speakers that have connected with us. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you to the audience for listening to us and connecting every time. Thank you so much. And you may connect with us on our social media sites that is at the rate Charamangal on Instagram and at the rate Charamangal on Facebook as well. And recently we have started a movement for Sadhika Pragbaji Virat's birthday. So if you're added on any of our social media sites, you can see that challenge, that movement, and be a part of that movement. We'll be excited. We'll be happy to have you in the part of that movement. So thank you so much. And we'll meet again tomorrow with another young speaker, that is Tejas Scarlett. He's an international rifle shooter. So there's one more story to explore. So we'll see you again tomorrow at same time, 7 o'clock.